Thank you and welcome to the digital marketing webcast for Pathway Service Missionaries. There's been a lot of excitement going on with Pathway. With the transition to BYU Pathway Worldwide, there's a lot of excitement for our students as well, and a lot of people are asking, what is this program and how can I get involved? And that's really where our missionaries come into play. We've had a lot of success over the past 8 years, and it is thanks to the outreach that our missionaries have done. We've been able to see over the past 8 years more than 60,000 students served all across the world. In the United States, we're actually at 88% of all stakes within the United States are within 1 hour commute of a Pathway gathering location. That is incredible. It's been truly remarkable how quickly this program has grown, and it's due in a large part thanks to our missionaries. You're on the ground, you know our students, and you're the ones that are touching their lives for good, so thank you. With all this change and excitement, there's a lot of opportunities, and there really is this time that we can amplify what our missionaries have been doing these past 8 years, and that's why we want to focus into digital marketing and what that can mean for both BYU Pathway Worldwide and for missionary finding efforts across the world. So we're just going to take a little bit of time today to explore a few areas of how we can use digital means to promote what missionaries are already doing to find students. A lot of the things that missionaries have done and the way that people have heard about Pathway in the past is word of mouth. The majority of our students have heard about Pathway either from a friend, a family member, a church member, and of course the missionaries. So word of mouth has been huge, and that will continue to be the best way for people to learn about Pathway and to become engaged and want to join the program. We've also have Sunday church meetings, be that fifth Sunday meetings or third hour meetings, Pathway presentation firesides, and then we've also done social media, and our website has been a major factor of what we do, and then as well as printed materials. So let's just take a minute and look at what digital marketing looked like in 2016. So in 2016, this is just last year, Pathway invested $4,000 in finding students through web and social media. And this actually resulted in 38,000 visits to the website. So you may be thinking, well, how do people get to the website through digital? Are we just talking about the total number of people coming to the website? No, this is actually through our digital efforts, either through promotional items through Deseret News or KSL, through social media. All of these are directing traffic to our website that resulted in 38,000 people coming to the website. So when you think of that, knowing that we spent just $4,000, this is about 10 cents per visit to the website. So we've seen a huge return from digital marketing efforts, and we believe that it will continue to be one of the best ways to expand what we are already doing with finding students. Now let's look at printed materials for 2016. So last year, Pathway invested more than $20,000 in printing and shipping materials for finding students. This has been a huge investment for us, and we've been able to survey students and missionaries about how they're using marketing materials, these printed materials, and what that impact has been. Just to give you a little context, of this $20,000, $19,500 was spent just on enrollment efforts for fall semester 2016. So that kind of gives you a picture of where a lot of our investment is going towards. So when we talked to students and missionaries about these printed materials, we learned a few things that we wanted to share with you. First off, we learned that 35% of students reported that they saw a Pathway flyer or a pass-along card. So this is 35% of enrolled students in Pathway who saw at any time a flyer or a pass-along card. And then 15% of students said that these flyers and pass-along cards significantly impacted their decision to join the program. And so as we look at this, we also note that 77% of missionaries reported using these items regularly. And so we had a few questions here. Just looking at the numbers, having spent $20,000 with only 15% of students saying that this affected their decision to join Pathway, we're looking at about a $5.50 cost per student joining the program as a result of the flyers and pass-along cards. So understanding that in 2016 we printed 100,000 flyers for fall semester, it suggests that just under 4% of those materials were seen by a student who joined the program, and that just 2% of that actually had an impact on that student joining the program. So we got to ask ourselves, what's the disconnect here? We've been investing a lot of money into print materials. Missionaries are using it. They're loving it. It's nice to have that solid piece of information on hand when you're talking with a student or a stake or ward leader. And yet students are reporting that they're not seeing these materials, and when they do see them, about half of those that received the materials said that it impacted their decision to join the program. So we have to wonder, what happens to these printed materials? So these are a couple photos that I've taken at some different churches that suggest maybe this is what's happening. A lot of times we put flyers up on a bulletin board, which is great, but then sometimes they just sit there. And the longer the flyers sit there, the less impactful it is for the ward members who are seeing them Sunday after Sunday. They know that it's there to see, but does it just become background noise as it moves along? After firesides, we've also seen a lot of pass-along cards and flyers actually end up in the trash. Sometimes it's a little later in the week when members come in to clean the chapel and they pull all these flyers and pass-along cards out from under the pews where a recent fireside has taken place. So we have to ask ourselves again, what's the disconnect? A little humor here. It's good to know that since 1995, the average size of young single adult pockets have decreased by 9,000%. So these are actual pockets from 1995 versus these fake pockets from 2017. So you got to wonder, maybe they just simply don't have a place to put a flyer. But we do know that our students are thinking digitally. They may not have room in their pockets to have a flyer, but they always have their phone with them. And that's something that we can capitalize on. Remember that students, both old and young, are connected to the internet. Our students intend to enroll online. They already are familiar with this environment, and we need to capitalize on that and be able to present Pathway in a way that they will always have on hand. So we know that our students are thinking digitally, but how can we think digitally and change the way that we are communicating with potential students, their friends, families, and stake and ward leaders? That's what we wanted to talk about today. There have been a few things that we can do and that we've been developing that we hope will help missionaries and others alike to share Pathway in a digital way. These include a new website that we've been developing, which we're going to give you a sneak peek of, as well as how to best use social media. Social media can be very intimidating. There are so many platforms, so many new things. Let's really break it down and see what are the few things that we can do in social media that will have the greatest impact. And then also, let's go through some examples of personal interactions where missionaries can think digitally rather than with printed materials. So looking at our current website, this was developed about 3 years ago. There have been a few changes since we first launched it in 2014, but with all the anticipated growth that we're going to see with BYU Pathway Worldwide, we know that the website needs a real big redevelopment. So we've been working on that. For the past 2 years or so, we've been thinking how we could improve the website. We've been doing a lot of research, user testing, focus groups. We've looked at analytics and research with our stakeholders for the website as well, those who are most heavily impacted by how our website performs. So looking at that, we found a few features that we really have hoped to implement on this new website, and we think you're really going to enjoy it. One of the first things, and I think is one of the most beneficial when we're thinking about helping students join the program, is making it that much easier to get to the application. So from anywhere on the website, students will have one click to admissions. Anywhere they go, they're just one click away from getting that application information that they need. How do I join Pathway? It's just one click away. We've also wanted to think mobile first. Now what this means is a lot of times our current students, they're accessing our website with their laptop or with a desktop computer because that's the easiest way for them to do their courses, to type out their assignments. and to participate in their discussion boards. But we have found that those individuals coming to the website who are just exploring or interested in Pathway, they haven't joined yet, we have found that a large portion of prospective students are accessing our website on their phone. And so we want to make sure that if someone's coming to our website on the phone, it is super easy for them to get all the information they need. So we've thought mobile first. As we've designed this website, we've wanted to make sure that if mobile's right, then desktop and a laptop is going to be right too. So we really wanted to focus on that. We also want to include more photos and videos. By including photos and videos, prospective students not only have a more visually pleasing experience, but they're able to see other students who are participating in the program, and they can see that Pathway is about them. We're about the students. We're not just about getting people to enroll. We're not about raking in high tuition rates. We're focused on students. We want to help them succeed and to achieve their goals. And so photos and videos that show the breadth of Pathway's students will really help do that. We've also wanted to focus on dynamic content. Now, what this means is that as a student comes to the website, they may be interested only in looking at information that's important to them. One of the biggest places we see this is tuition. A student wants to know, what will it cost me to do Pathway? And with dynamic content, we've created ways for users to come to the website, let us know where they're from, how old they are, other factors that will indicate what information they actually see on the website. So we're really excited to see that moving forward. We also want to make sure that we have a robust search engine. When people come to the website, maybe the easiest way for them to find information is to just quickly type a few search words and find exactly what they're looking for, rather than exploring the entire site. We've had people come in after a fireside, after talking to a missionary, and they want to easily find something that they found or they heard about at that presentation and talking to a missionary, and this search function will help them get exactly where they need to go. So here we're just going to look at a few different portions of the website. These are just static images, but they'll give you an idea and feel of what our new website will offer students. So what we see in this first image here is our homepage. So you'll see there's a lot of vibrant colors. We direct students directly to the information that we feel is going to be most important for them and that they've indicated in our different research. What we see here is also our Pathway page. So what will students see when they come to Pathway? We want them to understand quickly what the different parts are to the Pathway program and help them get that information as quickly as possible. We also want to focus on providing what the benefits of Pathway are so that students can explore that content both through video and dynamic content. You'll see in this top left corner, for low cost, students are encouraged to select their country. Depending on the country they select, the tuition rate will change depending on where they live and the version of the program that they're going to participate in. So with all these developments and changes for our new website, and after researching and talking to stakeholders, missionaries, prospective students, and others, we feel that this new website will both increase enrollment and retention by providing simple and clear information. Also, by simplifying the navigation and making it intuitive for students, they should be able to find the information quickly without getting confused or lost on the website. This will also help students as they begin Pathway or an online certificate or degree to better understand what the program is and what it can do for them. We also have designed the website so that missionaries will be able to use the website more fluidly in sharing Pathway and online degrees and programs with prospective students. If the website is easier for missionaries, it's just that much easier for students as well. So a few more things we've done with our website that we think will be really exciting is we've created some custom, or what is known as vanity, web addresses. Now, a vanity URL is a unique web address that is branded for marketing purposes. And this helps users to remember and find a specific page on our website. They're easy to remember, they're easy to use, and they're easy to share. These new web addresses take a user directly to the content that is most important for them to see, and the user can then navigate from there to other parts of the website. This way, when the user arrives at a location where they can quickly find the most important information and immediately take action on that information. And what's so great about these web addresses is that it saves the user at least 2 clicks from our homepage. When they enter these two addresses, howpathwayworks.org or Join Pathway, we skip the home page, we skip the other pages, and it takes them directly to the information they need. Now, in the past, we would have to say, just go to pathway.lds.org. And inevitably, one student here or there is going to forget one of those periods and they're going to get lost. Or maybe the homepage isn't exactly where they need to go. We need to get them quickly to the information they need. Well, at that point, the web address is simply too long to remember, and you might as well just say, go to the homepage. But with this, you can quickly say, just go to howpathwayworks.org and find out more about the information. And by following that, they can easily remember that web address and get exactly to where we need them to be. So we're really excited about these. We're hoping to expand it in the future, but we want to go slowly and see how students use these first. So now that we've taken a look at the website, let's get into social media. Social media is a really exciting place, and it's where we've been able to see the biggest growth and impact with the smallest amount of investment. So we want to break down what social media is, how it works, and what missionaries can do to access this amazing new tool that's available to us. Social media, in a nutshell, is where people share their images, videos, and memories with their friends and family, and it's all online. These are called stories. When you know someone else who's on Facebook, you can become their friend, and then you're able to see their photos, videos, and what else they have liked, including other organizations, articles, videos, and much more. When you're on social media and you see something that inspires you or makes you laugh, you can let that person know who posted it by liking that story. You can also add a comment or share what they posted yourself for others to see from your homepage. So what happens when Pathway publishes something on Facebook? And how do others see it? So right now we're going to dig into the life cycle of a post. This post is from July 2016, and it had some great engagement. So for this story or this post of photos, we saw 2,500 likes. These are people who either loved, liked, laughed, were impressed, inspired by something, and they thought to click like. It also had 90 comments from people and 424 shares. So again, a share is when someone sees a piece of content that they like, they really enjoy it, and then they want to take that content and share it directly onto their pages as well. So this post saw amazing engagement. And honestly, it's no surprise why. A lot of our students are joining Pathway for the very fact that they want a certificate and a degree. And this photo shows former Pathway students reaching that goal. So let's talk a little bit more about what happened after we posted this. Where does it go? So when you get on Facebook, it automatically pulls up what is called your news feed. Facebook's goal with Newsfeed is to show you the stories that matter most to you every time you visit Facebook. This means a personalized, ever-changing collection of photos, videos, links, and updates from friends, family, organizations, and public figures you've connected with on Facebook. Facebook looks at three things really to guess what will be most important to you. This is called the Facebook algorithm, and it considers who posted the story, the type of content that it is, and perhaps most importantly, how many interactions or likes, comments, and shares the post has. Posts are then ordered to show you your top-ranked stories first. Because most people interact with their close friends and family most on Facebook, stories for friends and family are seen first, and then organizations come later. So what this means is if an organization posts something, it's going to come after everyone's close friends and family, unless these three things are considered. So who posted the story? Facebook's going to see, does this person interact with Pathway's Facebook page? If so, it'll move up in the order. The type of content, is it a photo? Is it a video? Is it more highly engaging because of the type of content that it is? Facebook then considers that in the order of what people see. And then most important, and where we can have the greatest impact, is how many engagements or interactions the post is seen. So the more likes that a post has, the higher that it's ranked on Facebook. And the more likely it is that people are going to see it. So let's look a little closer at the insights on this particular post. You'll see that we had nearly 5,000 likes, comments, and shares, but what did that result in? If we look at reach, which is right up there at the top, we can see how many people actually saw the post. And this post in particular was seen by 155,000 people on Facebook. And that resulted in 5,000 reactions, comments, and shares. That's amazing. And the reason for that is because of how many shares, likes, and comments that it had. Because this post was so engaging, more and more and more people saw it. Now let's look and see what this looks like for Pathway. So, when Pathway posts something on Facebook, the people who like the page may be able to see it. And so here we have one person who likes our page and saw the post, and then they themselves liked the post. Once they've liked it, their friends can then see the post, and they may like it as well. So what you see here is, as this post gets more engagement, and as this person who liked the page started liking the content that we're posting, then Facebook says, hey, your friends might be interested in this content as well. We're going to show this content to them because they're your friends and you liked the content. So as this continues to progress and more people engage with that content, it spreads and spreads to their friends and their friends and their friends. And our goal is that Pathway will fill the world. So what's beautiful about social media is that anything is possible as long as something is getting a lot of engagement on Facebook. You may be wondering, what does this mean for my area? Well, because Pathway missionaries are local, they live close to their students, they live in the wards, branches, and stakes of their students. As they interact with Pathway's social media, then social media is invited into that area. And so if you have friends in your city, if you have friends in your ward and stake, if you like something on Facebook, then they are even that more likely to be able to see that content just because you liked it and you live close to them or you're their friend on Facebook. So what can missionaries do to help on social media? The first thing you can do is go to our Facebook page. Just simply go to facebook.com and search Pathway BYU Idaho. Once there, you can like our page. You can see the like button right there on the bottom left corner of the photo on top. And then you can also follow our page. So by clicking follow, you can scroll down and say see first. What this means is whenever you come to Facebook, you're going to see Pathway's content right there at the top of your newsfeed. And what that'll do is it'll make it more likely that you individually will see Pathway's content on Facebook. So when you come to Facebook and see Pathway content, all you need to do is simply like, comment, and share, or do all three. And this will increase the Facebook post's reach, which means more people will be likely to see it and become interested and join the program. While there's certainly so much more that missionaries can be doing on Facebook and social media, one of the most important things and the easiest thing is to simply engage our content. By engaging our content, more people will see it. And what's more important than just more people seeing it is that people in your city, ward, and stake will see the content. This particular post from 2016 had nearly 2,000 likes and was seen by 68,000 people on Facebook. And as you look, you'll also see that link clicks were more than 1,000. That means that because of this post, more than 1,000 people actually came to our website. Right now, we have about 2,092 missionaries across the world. Can you imagine if every one of those missionaries liked Pathway's Facebook posts? That would mean that even more people all around the world would see it. But what's more important is that the people in your hometown, your ward and stake, would be able to see the content. And that means because they've seen something on social media, when they come to talk to you, or Pathway is mentioned in their church meetings, or from a friend, they'll be that much more familiar with the program and more likely to engage in a conversation and also join the program. So now that we've talked about social media, let's talk about how we can think digitally in our personal interactions. So let's explore one-on-one interactions, small groups, and large groups. And as we work to do this, we'll be able to find ways to use digital materials rather than print, which will have a more lasting impact if our students see things online rather than having a piece of paper that they might lose. So personal one-on-one interactions. One of the easiest things you can do is invite students to find us on Facebook. Simply have them go to Facebook on their mobile phone or ask them when they go home to search for Pathway. What this gives them is a direct link to Pathway's website. You'll see this blue button on the left side will take them directly to the What is Pathway section of our website, which gives them a lot of great information to understand and digest what Pathway means. On the other side, you'll see that there's a message. This will provide a live chat for Pathway student support so that if anyone has any questions about Pathway, they can directly talk to a student support help if they have a question. So just by coming from Facebook, people can not only see the content that we share, but they can also get to our website and they can talk to our student support center. Also, don't forget to invite people to simply like Pathway's Facebook page. Another way that you can interact with people one-on-one digitally is to use those vanity URLs that we talked about before, howpathwayworks.org and joinpathway.org. And what is so great about these URLs is we actually have both howpathwayworks.org and howpathwayworks.com. So if a student forgets which one it is, they'll get there either way. Another thing that you can do is invite a student to look on your smartphone at Pathway's website. Because Pathway's website was built mobile first means that you'll be able to access everything you need from your phone. Simply go to the website and walk through the website with the student. Because of the intuitive navigation, you'll be able to simply walk through the website just like you would a presentation. Go over the benefits, what the programs are about, questions that they might have, and then also application information if they're interested. So let's now talk about group settings. How can we think digitally in a group setting? One simple thing that you can do is when you set up a meeting to visit with a ward council or you go to another meeting with church leaders or students, to invite them to the meeting through email, but then also attach a PDF of the flyers that we would usually print. This gives them a digital copy in their email, which they can access both from home and on their phone, and print it themselves if they would really like to hold on to a printed copy. When you're delivering a presentation, you can also invite the group to take a photo of a specific slide on their phone. This allows them to have the important information they need after the fireside right there on their phone. Just like we talked about presenting Pathway on your phone, you can also connect your computer to a projector in a meeting. This means that rather than going through a PowerPoint presentation, you can simply walk the group through the website because it is built intuitively and tells the story as though you were going through a presentation. And what's better is they can see the website, how it interacts, and also you'll have access to all the resources that are online to both answer questions and provide more information. You may also be able to ask the different wards and stakes that you work with if they have a Facebook page or group. A lot of congregations in the church use Facebook to connect members in the congregation, to plan for events, to share spiritual thoughts and missionary moments. So while not all wards and stakes have Facebook pages or groups, many do. So it's always helpful to simply ask if they have a Facebook page and then go ahead and like it or be asked to join that group on Facebook. Not only will this give you insights into communicating with that ward and stake, but it also gives you a place where you can share social media content onto the ward's Facebook page. You may already be familiar with Pathway's marketing page. You can find it at marketing.pathwaysupport.org. Now what this provides is a digital copy of every print material that Pathway uses to promote the program. There are also links to videos, presentations, and other materials. Just by visiting the site, you have access to so many resources that are right there at the tips of your fingers, all digital. Now, we do understand that some missionaries may simply be more comfortable with a printed material in their hand when they want to talk to a prospective student or a church leader. Now, missionaries can always come to this page, download the materials, and print them for their own use. While this may be helpful in talking to students, we would encourage missionaries not to print all of the flyers themselves like they used to use in the past. While this is an option, missionaries can talk to their stake and wards to see if this is something that they would like to do. But based on the research that we've seen and the data from surveys we've sent to students, printed materials simply don't have the effect that digital can have. And what's great is that if a student has that piece of paper, they may be able to share it with others, but digital, they can share it with many, many, many more people if they would like to. So remember to think digitally, try to find ways with the missionaries near you to brainstorm and think about other ways that you can think digitally instead of with print. In conclusion, we want to thank you, the missionaries, for all you do for Pathway. Without you, none of this would be possible. You are out there with the students. You see their pain, you feel their joy, and you help them to reach their success and their goals. Without you, this program wouldn't be possible. And with you, we can do anything that the Lord would have us do. So from the Pathway Home Office to all you missionaries out there, thank you. And remember, think digitally.